Ay, culo! Already off to a crazy start.
Hello, my friends. How are we doing, my friends? If you're watching the podcast, you may have seen that I already spilt the aha. Just toppled. Shit came coming, like the London Bridge, bro. Just came falling down right onto the ground. And, anyways, luckily it was closed, so. But let's crack it open. You already know how we do it here at La Frecuencia with your host, your floral father. Negrito baby, bro, he called out sick today. He's not actually sick. He's not actually sick. He's playing hooky, this motherfucker, but we still love him. He's actually under this chair, but you can't see. The camera does not show you. The camera doesn't got a bird's eye view of this room, It's just whatever's in front of it. So you can't see under the chair, but Negrito baby, give me a fist bump. He just gave me a fist bump, and he's down there. I don't know if you guys can hear this outside through these mics, because these are the nice professional mics, bro. A Shure SM7B. You're not going to hear shit. You're not going to hear any of the doom and gloom that's happening around the world. You're not even going to hear a fly fart. If a fly was right here, bzzz, you wouldn't hear it, bro. You wouldn't hear it. You're only going to hear directly what's in front of this, because this is top of the line. This is top of the line. But outside, bro, there is a whole construction team demolishing the alley. The alley that I have to drive through to park my car in my parking garage, they're taking out all the concrete and ripping up the surface. There's a guy on a jackhammer out there just gang, 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 gang. There's dudes yelling, hey, yo, hey, on. It's loud as fuck. Maybe I'll turn on the camera audio because I know the camera for sure is picking this up, bro, but man, they've been at it for like a week, dog, and they start at like 9 a.m., 9 a.m., bro, and I sleep with my window open because I like to let the cold. You hear that? Damn! Hey, keep it down out there. Like that's gonna do anything, bro. What if one of them you just hear one of them yell back, "Fuck off!" Nah, I'm gonna let them do their thing, bro. I don't know why they're demolishing the alley. There was nothing wrong with it. Perfectly fine alley, but I'm gonna let them do their thing, bro. That's what our tax dollars are going towards. Alleys that are completely fine. Meanwhile, the freeway is full of potholes, and every time I smack into one, I think my car's about to boom, Fast and Furious flip right over, boom, like some shit from a Transformers movie about to boom, do a somersault in the middle of the 101, bro. But no, they're just tearing up alleys that work. Alleys that there was nothing wrong with, but tax dollars. Anyways, bro, I don't want to sit here and complain because complaining's not going to get us anywhere, bro. It's another beautiful day here at the Frequency Podcast. And you might notice two things. Number one. Let's start with number one. Let's play a small game of Spot the Difference. Have you spotted it yet? I'll give you a second. Have you spotted it yet? I'm going to compare and contrast a picture from last week's episode to a picture of this week's episode. What looks different? Is there another autograph or signature on the wall? No, that's not it. Are my biceps bigger? I mean, that's true. So, that's one difference, but that's not the one I was talking about. Spot the second difference. Ding, ding, ding. That's right. My hair's different. I bleached it again. I bleached my hair again because we're coming back. We are embodying the floral frequency, floral father, bro, with the bleached hair. It's part of the brand. It's part of the brand now. And right now I have a Goldilocks yellow color. This shit is a PP yellow color. This shit is like Goldilocks. So you can call me Goldilocks. Except, right, I'm a guy. I got a Goldie cock, bro. So call me Goldie cock. That's me. And it's funny too, bro, because my scalp is just annihilated, bro. I have chemical burns on my fucking scalp from doing this shit. It burnt so bad. And I let my girl do it. And at first, I was kind of resentful towards my girl. I was like, you fucked it up, I was like, oh, she messed it up. My scalp's on fire. It's not the color I want. I was mad. And she could feel that. And I kind of criticized her a little bit in the moment, and I had no reason to do that because at the end of the day, I have to take accountability. I'm the one that bought all the products. I'm the one that told her what to do. She was just following orders around here. I was the captain steering the fucking ship, and she was one of my Marines. She was one of my cadets, bro. She was just, I said, drop the anchor, and she dropped it, and that anchor dropped directly into a chemical burn on my fucking scalp. So I have to take accountability though, because I bought a 30 proof developer, bro, because it works faster, sure, and it lightens much faster, but it also burns. And the label, the bottle, here's how fucking retarded I am, bro. I looked at the bottle and it said, do not use on scalp with anything higher than a 15 developer. And I was like, I have a 30. I should be fine. I was like, I should be okay. And that's what happened, bro. It burned off. It cinched to the point where now I'm like flaking. Like my scalp is flaking off, bro. These little charred bits, these little just charred, burnt quemaditos on my scalp, bro. If I run my hands through my hair like this, bro, it's just a bunch of little, it's like beef jerky snowflakes coming out of my hair. Just beef jerky snowflakes that are flaking off, bro. You could, if I collected them and put them in a baggie, a little dime bag, bro, it could be, I'm sure, a good source of protein for someone's diet. That's foul. But anyways, I love the hair. And I want to apologize to my girlfriend here publicly for being upset when it happened. But I take accountability for it. And, bro, hair is hair. It grows back. I actually love how it looks. And I'm just going to bleach it again in about a week or two. So it don't even matter. But let's see. What am I complaining? I complained about the construction guys. I complained about my hair. I'm not complaining. I fixed the alley. And then for my hair, bro, I love my hair. I love my girl. And I take accountability for burning myself. It was a self-inflicted wound. But anyways, bro. And the second thing I wanted to talk about. Damn, I've gotten way off track, bro. See, this is why I need the notes app. I need my phone to direct me and guide me through the course of this podcast today. The second thing I want to talk about, if you haven't noticed, it's Friday. And a lot of you guys are probably like, yo, hey, I thought the podcast come out on Thursday. The last one came out on Friday. And it's funny because I forgot to mention it in the last podcast, but the last podcast is the official one that I'm initiating this new process in. And it's Frequency Fridays. It has a nice ring to it. Shout out Jason Coco for giving me the idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that when I started this podcast. Frequency Fridays. So from here on out, well, technically from the last podcast out, the podcast is going to be on Fridays. And of course, I have to come up with an idea of why I'm switching it to Fridays. Realistically, it's because it just gives me more time to crank out an episode. And it just gives me, it gives me a whole extra day to work on it. You know, it gives me a whole extra day. I have peace of mind. I don't feel like I'm rushing to drop something in the middle of the fucking week or later half of the week, you know, but it gives me an extra day to work on it. And also, you guys know that this is a self-improvement podcast, and a lot of people's self-improvement goes right out the fucking window right when the weekend hits. So I thought, you know, it would kind of be a good idea to drop this right before the weekend starts, as the weekend's starting, bro, on a Friday morning. So you can come in, you can listen to this podcast, and maybe rethink some of the fucking atrocities that you plan on committing throughout the weekend. Maybe you don't drink as much. Maybe you're not like, oh, I'm going to get fucked up with my boys. And you're like, I'm going to stay in and read a book. Or maybe you're not like, oh, I'm going to go fuck some hoes, bro. Let's get sauced and fuck hoes. Maybe you realize that women are people too. And if you really want to attract women, make yourself attractive. If you really want to attract women, work on your social skills. Go outside and work on your social skills, my boy. So I'm releasing this podcast now Friday morning so you can listen to it, and maybe on your drive to work or at the gym, wherever you so choose to listen to this podcast, you can think, maybe instead of doing all these degenerate, delinquent activities throughout the weekend as I had planned, I'll do something productive with my life. I'll level myself up. I'll invest into some skills. I'll do something that fuels me and fills me with purpose. And purpose is one of the key words for today's podcast, bro. Because I heard this quote the other day. Oh my God, bro, that literally resonated with me so tough, bro. It fucking tingled in my balls, and then from my balls, it went to the bottom of my spine, and then like a jolt of electricity just zapped all the way up in my spine, through my spine, hit my brain, and my brain had this feeling of ecstasy and euphoria. As I ascended into the heavens of self-improvement. Oh my God, I'm 1% better than I was yesterday because now I heard this quote that changed my life. And then once the chorus of that song I just sang, ay, negrito, don't scratch the couch. Mira. Ay, vente, 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 vente. Ay, mira quién es Negrito Baby. But once the chorus settled of that song that I was singing and the angels came to a halt and the song settled, bro, this shit really resonated with me is what I'm trying to say. And that quote, I heard it, and shout out to, damn, I can't think of his name right now, bro. I'm going to look him up because I want to give him credit. Beep. Take two. Shout out to Dre Drexler, bro, because he's the one that introduced me to this quote. I heard it on one of his videos. He's a YouTuber that's been around forever, bro, and he used to do a lot of like style and hair stuff and just like men's like fashion videos. But now he's a new man, bro. He's a new man. He found Christ, and all his content is self-improvement related, and it's about personal development and becoming a man. Grasping your masculinity and becoming a fucking man. Tackling the world with your balls like a man should. You know how the Lord intended. Isn't that right, Negrito Baby? Yes. But yeah, man. So Dre Drexler had this quote in one of his videos, and the quote was, "A man with no purpose distracts himself with pleasure." And I'm going to say that again. A man with no purpose distracts himself with pleasure. And this resonated with me. This is one of the things that influenced the topic for today's podcast, because I personally have felt like I have a lot of things that give me purpose, bro. I have a lot of things that give me purpose. Being a cat dad to Negrito Baby right here, and Gray Layla up there. That's a new one. And being a cat dad gives me purpose. But on an all serious note, bro, this podcast gives me a sense of purpose. The gym, bettering my body, crafting my physique gives me a sense of purpose. Working on my charisma, my social skills. I want to become a social savage, a social savant. I want to be able to talk to anyone about anything and carry conversations. That gives me purpose. All the self-improvement stuff gives me purpose. My music gives me purpose. Starting a YouTube channel. I know I'm only uploading podcasts, but like I want to upload more on this YouTube channel. There's a lot of things that give me purpose, bro. Acting, modeling, everything I do, in a sense, is to elevate myself, become better, become stronger, and just become the biggest and the baddest and the best. You guys know that that's the whole point of this podcast, bro, is to be the biggest, the baddest, and the best. And all those things give me purpose. But something that's been distracting me from that purpose recently, and not even recently, bro, this has been a distraction for me personally for a very long time, man. And there's days where I've just been engulfed in this activity and just like hours in, just brain dead, like a fucking, just like a vegetable, bro, just like in a vegetative state, just tongue out, drooling, slobbering on Negrito Baby right here, bro, because I'm too distracted. And that distraction for me has been social media. There's a lot of times where social media has kept me from doing the tasks that I have to do, from keeping me from my purpose. And that's the topic for today, is social media and the distraction of it. And another thing that gave me this topic of conversation is, over the weekend, I stayed at my girl's house, bro. We were playing house, but my girl also recently started a new job. And so she was working from 11 to 7, but you know, it's LA. It would take her about an hour to get to work. So she would wake up at like 9, get ready for an hour, leave at 10, eat an hour of traffic to get to work. So realistically, she would get home afterwards at like 7, another hour, get home at like 8. And I'd see her from like 8 onwards. I felt like the whole day I didn't see her, and I was there for 2 days, and she pretty much worked both those days. So I was like, man, I brought it to her attention when she was there. I was like, I feel weird being here because like I've just been at your house the whole time. You're not even here. And I feel like we haven't gotten to spend like the quality time that we actually wanted to spend. And she was like, yeah, I feel that, yada, yada. This is as she's making dinner. And then she continues making dinner, and I jump on my phone. And a good chunk of time has gone on. I'm on my phone, yada, yada, and my girl called me out on my bullshit. And sometimes that's all you need to realize that, hey, maybe I do have a problem. Maybe I do have a little social media addiction. Maybe I am consuming a little too much. Because my girl called me out and she said, well, you know, we could spend more quality time together if you would get off your phone. And I was like, damn, God damn. First, My ego was hurt a little bit. I was like, bitch, what the? I'm sorry. My girl's not a bitch, but deep down, I was like, why the fuck you got to call me out like that? And then I took a deep breath and I was like, she's right, bro. It's not only she's right, but like I've noticed that I've been on my phone too much. I've been indulging in stupid ass content like Instagram, bro. I don't even give a fuck. You just get on Instagram and it's like you lose hours of your day. Luckily, I'm not on TikTok. Luckily, I deleted Twitter, bro. Don't even get me started on Twitter. I've mentioned it a million times on this podcast. I can't be on Twitter because I get on Twitter and it's only OnlyFans girls promoting themselves. And they're like, hey, do you want to come, C-U-M? Do you want to come play with me, daddy? And it's a picture of them spreading their fucking pussy lips, bro. And then you slide and the next slide is them fucking asshole that they're spreading their butt cheeks, culo hole wide open. You're like, Jesus Christ. And they're like, subscribe to my OnlyFans. And it's just, bro, it's a trigger, bro. Because then you get a little turned on and you're like, I shouldn't be looking at these things. The Lord does not want me looking at these cochinadas, bro. It's fucking, I just woke up. It's 10 a.m. I should not be looking at assholes and titties and jugs bouncing around and shit. It's 10 a.m., bro. I just got on Twitter to see what Biden's up to. I got on to see if my Slaying Dogs released a new track. I got on to check in with my producer homies to see what's happening in the world. And I'm just getting bombarded with sexual content and all this explicit junk, bro. And it's like, do you want to come play with me? No, I don't want to fucking come play with you. I'm sorry, cochina. I don't want to play with you. No, save it for someone else, bro. Like, that's something that can distract men from their purpose, bro, is like porn and pornographic content and all that stuff. And like, bro, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I cave. That is an addiction that since the day I had a PSP and I fucking first found porn when I was like 12, 13, bro. When you're that young and that impressionable and you find something that releases that amount of dopamine, of course you're going to get addicted. So when you try to jump on NoFap, for those of you guys that don't know, it's like you don't jack off, you don't watch porn, no porn and no masturbation. When you try to jump on something like that, it's not going to happen overnight because you've built up this addiction over years, bro. You've built up this addiction for most guys since you were 10, 12, 13 years old, bro. But getting rid of the things that trigger you is how you're going to overcome that addiction. So I had to completely delete Twitter. I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to see this. I'm a man with purpose, and this is only going to throw me off. This is only going to waste my time. This is going to make my relationship weaker, bro, because if you're out here lusting over cochinas on the internet, you're not gonna be that guy. You're not gonna go love your girl and lust after her and give her the fucking chorizazo because you're drained. You're drained of all your seed because you fucking spent it all into tissues, into a tube sock from watching all this porn and watching all this OnlyFans content, bro. Also, if you're subscribed to some girl's OnlyFans, stop. Cancel it. Like, cancel it. I have nothing against these girls. Like, make your money. Do what you got to do. I respect that. But gentlemen, we're not giving into this anymore, bro. You're a fucking cuck. Because most of the times you subscribe to some girl's OnlyFans, and like I said, you're watching her get railed by someone else. How about you level yourself up until you're the one that's railing that girl? She comes to you. Hey, do you wanna collab on my OnlyFans? Do you wanna fuck me for some content? Yeah, be that guy. Be the guy that's fucking the girl, not the guy that's fucking paying to see the girl get fucked. You feel me? You feel me? This is way, bro. I'm like way like away from what I wanted to talk about, but that's a little tangent. That's something I was feeling. Don't be a cuck, bro. But like, don't be a cuck. It's so cuck. It's so beta. You drink your pre-workout with beta alanine. I drink mine with alpha alanine. Because there's no beta bitches around here, bro. And you a beta bitch if you subscribe to some girl's OnlyFans. If you subscribe to multiple OnlyFans, my brother in Christ, listen to this podcast. Listen to some people on the internet. There's a lot of self-improvement content out there. We got to be better. And if you're subscribed to a lot of those channels, you might be lost and you might feel like you haven't found your purpose. And that's okay, bro. Again, bro, I feel like criticism is going to get you nowhere. If you criticize and chastise people, they're going to hate you. But sometimes people got to hear it like it is, man. And I want the best for you guys. I want the best for you guys. And I think that obviously porn and OnlyFans is not the best for you, but also being distracted and consumed and just being absorbed in a fucking rush of dopamine. Most of us, as soon as we get up out of bed, what's the first thing we do? We check our social media. We get that insanely high dopamine rush that the rest of the day feels boring. The tasks that we have to accomplish and take care of throughout the day, the tasks that work us and get us closer to achieving our purpose, seem mundane and boring because we've already started our day with an intense amount of dopamine just from checking our social medias, bro. And I'm guilty. In a sense, I'm talking to myself. Remember, guys, everything I say up here, I say to educate and to entertain and you know, but most of the times I'm talking to myself. I'm guilty to everything I'm saying up here. I'm guilty to everything I'm saying up here. Like I said, lately, I've been so consumed and distracted with social media that it was the topic for today. Shout out to my girl for calling me out. Shout out Dre Drexler for that amazing quote, bro, where a man with no purpose is distracts himself with pleasure. Pretty much. A man with no purpose distracts himself with pleasure, and the pleasure I've been distracting myself with just to fill space, just to fill empty space in my day is YouTube, Instagram. I don't really go on TikTok too much. I tried it. And I'm not going to lie, it was fun. It was fun. It was a great time. I made my little dancing videos, and I made my little shirtless videos, and I posted those. And it was fun. I had a great time. I love TikTok. I loved it. But it's the biggest time waster in my opinion. So I don't go on too much. Last night I couldn't sleep, bro. And this is how bad it is, bro. This is how bad now that I'm thinking about it. I couldn't sleep last night. I tried to fall asleep at like 11 o'clock, something early. I tried to fall asleep early, couldn't fall asleep. I'm like laying, tossing and turning. I check my phone. It's about 12:30. I was like, oh, what'll help me fall asleep? Let me check Instagram real quick. I get on Instagram and I was like, you know, I haven't been on TikTok in a long time, in a while. And I just see the notifications adding up that people are sending me TikTok. So I was like, let's check it. Let's see what's up. I'm going through some of the videos people sent me. And then I get on my For You page. And before I know it, bro, it was around like 12:30. It's like 1:30, almost 2 o'clock. And I've just been on TikTok the whole time. And I was like, how am I going to come up here and talk about social media consumption and social media distractions, yet be on TikTok for almost 2 hours. 2 hours before I go to bed. Just taking in all this blue light. Blue light's the worst thing for you before you go to bed. Just taking in all this blue light, telling myself like, oh, it'll tire me out. Yeah, I'll just stay on till I get tired, and just being so just in it, bro. It's so hypocritical to me. But the first problem, the first step to realizing you have a problem is accepting that you have a problem. The first step is realizing that there's a problem. For me personally, there's a problem. And for 90% of you, bro, I know there's a problem. Let's jump into these statistics. Actually, bro, I've been rambling so long, it's about to be an intermission. But the first step to realizing you have a problem is to be self-aware enough and accept that, hey, I'm on this a little too much. And I have stats and statistics and everything that I want to pull up. I'm going to pull those up for you after the intermission. So without further ado, let's just fucking send it. Let's just send that short intermission, huh? Damn, these construction guys are really, they start at 9 a.m. It's 4:30 right now. They're going to town. They're putting in work. Good for them, bro. That OT, make that OT, baby. Make that OT. But all right, now I'm going to be on my college professor shit. I'm going to be on my university shit. I'm going to be on, this is the nugget hours. Before it was the ramblings. Before it was the off-topic ramblings that were also kind of on-topic ramblings. But now it is time for the statistics. Let's talk about demographics of people that are on social media, for one. Because it's all of us. It's everyone you know. It's your friends, your family, your colleagues, acquaintances. When you meet someone nowadays, the standard most of the time is to get their Instagram over their number. Or you're like, hey, you were cool, let's keep in touch. Hey, what's your Instagram? Everybody's always like, what's your Instagram? What's your Instagram? That's kind of like your business card nowadays. If you think about it, that's your business card. That's how people can find you. That's a contact for them in their phone. There's some people I socialize, good friends, where I don't even have their fucking numbers. We hit each other up on Instagram, like just DM each other like, hey, what's up? Or we'll send each other dumb posts. That's how it is nowadays. And before I continue into this, I understand that social media, it's fun, bro. Don't get me wrong. I have a good time on it. But it's how you handle it. Social media in today's day and age is just a tool. It's how you use that tool that can affect your mental health. It's how you use that tool that leads you to whatever detriment or whatever positive situation you get out of it. It's how you use it it's like a fucking gun almost, bro. It's, you know how people always say when there's a mass shooting, they're like, oh, well, guns don't kill people. People with guns, people kill people. The gun is just a tool. It's the same thing with social media. Social media is just a tool. It depends how you use it. But now let's get into some statistics, bro. With everybody's favorite, TikTok. The number of monthly active users is 1 billion people on TikTok. The largest age group of these people is 10 to 19-year-olds. And Instagram, number of monthly active users is 2 billion. I think these might be a little skewed too, because if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure TikTok is the number one social media right now. But in this, the largest age group goes up slightly to 25 to 34. That's the age group for Instagram. And then YouTube, bro, as much as I love YouTube, I have to realize, me personally, this is the one where I spend most of my time in. And I have to realize that, A, yes, it is the social media. 2, it is, and for me especially, can be very distracting. It's my favorite one out of these because it's the one I use the most, but it's a social media at the end of the day. It depends on how I use it to see if it's going to take me or steer me off my purpose, bro. And YouTube, number of monthly active users, 2+ billion. This one has the most. I think TikTok recently dethroned YouTube, so if I remember correctly, and I'm talking out of my ass, take this with a grain of salt. It's TikTok's number 1, and then it was YouTube, and then I think it was Facebook, and then Instagram, and then Twitter, and then all the other fucking who gives a fuck, you know? And then it's your B-Reels and your Snapchats and all that stuff. But YouTube, largest age group, is 15 to 35. So they have the biggest range of people that are on YouTube, because YouTube has something for everybody, bro. They have YouTube for kids, they have YouTube for young adults, impressionable teens, they have YouTubes for people that are trying to better themselves. Any niche or genre or audience that you can think of or cater to is on YouTube. Now, I want to read this brief. It's funny because I just talked to my dad, bro, and I love my dad. And my dad is on his own self-improvement journey as well, and I feel like a lot of that sparked here at this podcast. Like, I love my dad for listening to and supporting my endeavors and my journeys, but I feel like it also benefited him in a way because now he sends me a lot of self-improvement shit that inspires a lot of topics for this podcast, that inspires a lot of just little things throughout my day, throughout my life that I'm conscious of now and that I can implement into my own lifestyle. And I was talking to him before I filmed this, and he was like, hey, I emailed you, you fucking dope. I emailed you. Did you see it? I was like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. He's like, I emailed you this article, and it was like three things to do to live here. I'll just pull up the article because I don't want to butcher it. 3 habits that will boost your mental clarity. And this was after the fact that I told him I planned on making my podcast about social media consumption. And he's like, you have to read the article I sent you. He's like, I'm going to send it again. He's like, sit down and read it before you start your podcast. And I was like, okay. And the very first thing in this article, I was like, God damn, bro, he knew. Once again, my dad sends me nuggets that are influencing the podcast. And this is the first paragraph. I'm just going to read it from here. When we engage in things that are overstimulating, such as doom scrolling through social media for hours or going down a rabbit hole on YouTube and binge watching videos for hours, we are injecting ourselves with dopamine. We are stimulating ourselves just to veg out. What's really dangerous about this overstimulation is that most of us do it in the morning, meaning we are kicking off our days by being overstimulated in general, simply because we feel as if we need to see what's happening around us, irrelevant of the impact it has on our lives. Each social media platform we jump on provides another dose, all before we've even done anything, all before we've even started our day, before we've moved a muscle, showered, or eaten. So why is this dangerous? When we need to engage in things that are more slow-paced or boring or less stimulating, it makes it extremely difficult to transition. And this is true. Because when I'm on my phone all day and I'm on YouTube and I'm like, all right, let's turn this shit off and let's sit down and work on music. Or let's turn this shit off and let's edit the podcast. Or let's turn this video off and whatever it may be, even just sit down and meditate. If I've been on my phone before I sit down and meditate, I have to spend an extra 5 minutes just recollecting myself, just to feel mindful and present because I've already overstimulated it. My brain's already like, what's that next hit of dopamine? What's that next hit of dopamine? Guys, you're a crackhead. Your brain is a fucking crackhead. You need to get him in check because he's always looking for the next fix of dopamine, 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 dopamine. And this is the instant, easiest. You don't have to work for this. You don't have to work for this. And you still get rewarded. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, number 2, it makes the necessary tasks or habits that we all know are key to our growth seem even more distant and boring. And distant is a key word in this one for me. Because like I said, being on social media makes me feel like it's keeping me distant from my purpose. It's keeping me distant from the like this said, the now boring tasks, the now tedious tasks that weren't like that before. They're only like that because I'm overstimulated. So now in hindsight, they seem boring. I don't want to do those anymore. And then I don't do those anymore. And then it distances me from my purpose in life. It distances me from the goals I have set. It distances me from the things I'm trying to achieve, bro. And number 3, it triggers brain fog and creates a holding pattern where we are literally stuck in the state of brain fog. See, I'm in the fucking brain frog, bro. Ribbit. Ribbit. I got brain frog. It creates brain fog. And this is a kind of just story I'm just thinking of. But I remember when I was with my ex, bro, she was telling me, she's like, yeah, you know, I felt this brain fog for a long time now, probably like a month. And she was saying that it was from COVID. She was like, it's a post-COVID brain fog, yada, yada. I just don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to get back to normal. And at the time, I was like, oh, you know, it'll go away. Don't worry. It'll go away. It's only been a month since you've had COVID. It'll probably go away in 2 months, you know? No, it's because she got COVID. She got sick. What are you doing when you're sick? You're just in bed all the time. You're always on social media. You're just on YouTube. You're constantly engaging in these high dopamine, high stimulus activities. And when she did that for the 2 weeks that she was out, bro, she got addicted. She was addicted before that. That girl was always on her social media. But bro, when you're stuck in the virtual world, when you come back to the real world, that transfer into the real world is going to leave you a little foggy. It's going to leave you a little unclear. And that's because you're not supposed to spend that much time in the virtual world. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to spend that much time online, bro. And speaking of time online, let's talk about this. I told you that the demographics are from 10 to 19 for TikTok, 10 to 19-year-olds, 25 to 34-year-olds. That's about a college age right there. So basically, as you're transitioning from high school into college, from TikTok into Instagram, these are the social medias and the age ranges that you're consuming the most content. And college campus statistics, top 3 diagnoses on university campuses. Number 1 was anxiety. Number 2 was depression. Number 3 was stress. And these were all linked to social media use. So I thought that was a crazy fact. I was like, oh, light bulb. Why is no one, keeping us in check? And then when you think of it, high social media is almost everyone you know. So then when you think of, everybody you know is indulging in high social media use, everyone you know is probably fighting battles with anxiety, with depression, with stress. I don't want to get too dark on this podcast, but this is the reality of the world. The reality of the situation is suicide rates have gone through the roof since social media has started. And it's really happening with younger audiences because they're the most impressionable, man. They're the most impressionable. When they haven't even hit puberty and they're seeing girls with these hourglass figures. They're seeing these guys that are fucking built like Arnold in his prime. They're seeing all these things of what they want to be. And instead of using it as motivation and drive and being like, I want to work to that, they're like, why don't I look like that? And they start comparing, bro. And this is like, we have to realize that people, what they post on social media, they're posting their personal highlight reel, man. I watched a TED Talk that said this. The TED Talk had a lot of these points, actually. But people on social media are only posting the best parts of their life, the highlight reel, the best plays, bro. And we're comparing our regular mundane lives. We have highlight reels too, but we're comparing our everyday normal lives to these people's highlight reels, to the people around us, and thinking, Why am I not traveling? Why am I not shredded? Why don't I have a bunch of baddies around me? Why don't I have all this money? Why am I not, cruising around in a Lambo or doing all this stuff? You're looking at either people that have worked their whole life to get to that point, or B, people that are fucking faking and flexing and comparing yourself to that, bro. And it's not safe. It's not safe. I heard another quote the other day. This was actually on TikTok. This was last night when I was scrolling on TikTok.
You know what they say? They say comparison is the thief of joy. You compare yourself to others and you'll never be happy.
And that I resonated with that. Tough. Another thing about social media is the amount of followers and the amount of likes you get equates to social currency. And the biggest currency now is people's attention. Because if you can get people's attention, you can sell them something. And on social media, what are you selling? Yourself. You are now the product. So because of this social currency, we are letting other people attribute value to us. And they are basically telling us what our self-worth is. We are tying up our own self-worth in social media. And you can see this through, we've all done this too. I've done it a million times. You post a photo and it doesn't get a good amount of likes in a short amount of time. So say you post a photo and you're usually used to getting 10, 15 likes within the first 5 minutes. 5 minutes have gone by, you've gotten 3 likes. You're like, oh, this is embarrassing. You take the photo down. That photo didn't perform well enough. That photo didn't sell. That photo didn't sell, so you're taking your product off of the market and reanalyzing and rethinking what you post. But also, you're lowering your self-worth and thinking, this isn't what the people want. I'm not good enough. What was wrong? Am I ugly? Is there something in my teeth? What was wrong with this photo? What's wrong with me? These are the mental health issues that come from social media. And I'm a big advocate on mental health, bro. And it's all these. This is another thing that was said in this TED Talk. I'll link it here as well if you want to go check it out. She said it's all these micro moments that add up and snowball into macro mental health problems if unchecked or unnoticed. And like I said, the first way to notice if this is becoming a problem is to just be aware, is to admit that, hey, I have a problem. Admit that, hey, this is fucking me up, bro. I'm on social media way too damn much. And more drawbacks of social media: increased nervousness, sadness, depression, and low self-esteem. But we've already touched on all of these. We monitor our diets. We monitor what we put into our body. Why are we not monitoring what we put into our body through a different orifice, through our eyeballs? Why are we not monitoring what we consume, not from food and nutrition, but what we consume from our content? We monitor our workouts and we keep track of our workouts to grow bigger and stronger. Why are we not monitoring the internet consumption, the things we're consuming from social media? Be mindful of why you're using it and limit where and when you use social media. Obviously, like I started this podcast, I told my girl, I don't think we spent enough quality time together. And then I was on my phone. That was the perfect time to be spending quality time with each other. And she called me out. That was not the time or the place to be on my phone. To me, I was like, oh, we're not even doing anything right now. She's cooking. I'm just chilling here. Like, I can be on my phone. Put the phone down and live in the moment. That was a beautiful moment I could have shared with my girlfriend. That was a beautiful moment I could have looked back on. And I do. Her cooking's amazing. I look forward to her cooking, bro. Mwah, baby, you cook deliciously. But that's a moment where I should not have been on my phone. When you go out with a friend and they're just on their phone the whole time, at a certain point you're like, bro, you're fucking annoying, dog. Or you go out to eat and someone's on their phone the whole time. This happened to me a couple times back when I was single. I would go on a date and the girl's just on her phone the whole time. And I'm like, are you even fucking interested in me? Well, can you not engage in basic social human interactions? And the reality of life is that a lot of us now, we fucking can't. A lot of us lives are all online. Our personality are all online. It's kind of like if you've ever met an influencer or a celebrity and they're like, oh, this big outgoing personality online, yada, yada, yada. And then you meet them in person and they're kind of like this shy, awkward, fucking timid. They have no social skills. That happens a lot. Or if you have an internet friend that you like really talk to on the internet and you guys engage and interact and stuff, and then you meet them in person and they're a dead fish. They lack any personality. They lack any substance, anything, bro. You're like, well, what Where was the transfer? And again, bro, it's lost in translation. When the internet's not real. When you come into the real world, that's when you have to be real. And that's where you will get judged on, is how you are, your character, your values, your morals, the person you are in the real world. Not the fake amplified bullshit version of you online, bro. And in a sense, you're probably like, oh, Esmon, don't you have to be an influencer if you want your podcast to grow or if you want your music to grow? Yes, bro. I'm not here to shit on social media, even though I've shit on social media this whole time. I just don't want social media to be a distraction from your purpose. And for me personally, it's been a distraction from my purpose. But like I said, I'm taking the right steps. I don't even get on TikTok. Besides last night, I'm not getting on TikTok anymore. I deleted Twitter. It's been brought to my attention that I spend too much time on Instagram, and I already know I spend too much time on YouTube, bro. I have to start focusing on myself. Realistically, I know I say this in every podcast, and this is a big theme of just the podcast here in general of our community, is focus on yourself, King. I have to focus on myself. My body, I've been good at putting all my focus there. Now I have to focus on my goals, on my ambitions, on my aspirations, on all the things I want to achieve. And social media is only going to throw me off my course. Internet porn is only going to throw me off my course. And so many young men, bro, so many young men are growing up fucking weird and just don't know how to actually converse or talk to a real life woman because they have this scared, overstimulated, perverted just image of women. You're objectifying women and looking at them like a piece of meat rather than a person, bro. That's another person, man. So obviously porn is an overstimulating bullshit instant gratification thing that you should cut out. Social media, and I feel like social media and porn are very linked together because how do porn stars promote themselves on social media? So just be weary. That's not even, be aware. Just be aware from now on. Every time you pull your phone out, think to yourself, why am I pulling my phone out? What is the purpose for me to be on my phone? Because realistically, you're probably just pulling it out because you're bored. You're probably just pulling it out to kill time. You're probably just pulling it out for some bullshit reason, bro. For some bullshit reason. There's no reason for you to be on your phone. For me, this is something I'm going to have to do, and I think I just have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb throughout the day until all the tasks I have to get done are done, until everything that's on my whiteboard gets crossed off. Phone on Do Not Disturb so I literally can't get distracted. And also, guys, the real world is a much more beautiful place, and it only gets progressively beautiful and more opportunities open up, and it only gets more satisfying the more you level yourself up and the more you achieve and strive for great things. So go outside and fucking touch grass, bro. Go outside and hug a fucking tree. Go outside and tongue fuck a bush. Do something. Do something, bro. But live in the real world, man. I want to give this quick story real quick. Because looking back now, this was one of the best things for my mental health. And it's like, why don't I just do this again, man? We've all hit a point where we want to just delete our social media. Realistically, we want to deactivate everything and do all that stuff. And at one point in my life, I did. At one point in my life, I did because I was so depressed and so down in the dumps. I was not in a good headspace. I was literally threads away from just considering ending it all, bro. I'm not even lying. I was in a spot where I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. I was depressed. I was skinny as fuck. I was malnourished. I couldn't eat. I couldn't do anything, bro. And I would spend a lot of my time on social media, and that wasn't helping me. So I remember literally in this room, right here on this fucking floor, I had a mental breakdown. I had a mental breakdown, and I threw my phone, and I was crying. I threw my phone. I was yelling. I was crying. I was in a fit of rage and just a fit of emotion because I had hit a breaking point where I said, something needs to happen or I'm not going to exist in a fucking week or two, bro. And so I got on my social medias and I deactivated everything. I deactivated Instagram. I deactivated Twitter. I didn't even have a TikTok at the time. I deactivated everything I fucking use and literally jumped in my car and I drove to Griffith Park and I went on a hike by myself. I said, I need to get out and I need to touch grass. And then I got really into hiking and I invited Coco and his girl to go hiking with me. We went hiking one time and then I would invite some of my common friends to go hiking with me and then we'd go hiking. And I just started hiking by myself. And then when I went out, I just felt more present. That's another time that I really dove back deeply into mindfulness and meditation. And I meditated every day. I meditated on being the person you envision. I meditated on love. I meditated on empathy. I meditated on clearing your mind, clearing clutter and stress in the mind and all this stuff. And I focused on the gym and I worked myself from a state of depression where I was like, I have no worth. I don't want to be here, to a place where I was like, I love where I'm at. I'm happy with the person I'm building up. I'm happy with the mental clarity I have. It was night and day difference. I can see clearly now. I'm sleeping perfectly. I'm having fun. And this was the shift of about 3 months. This little trial run of no social media lasted for about 3 months. And when it came time to download social media again, it was when I was ready to participate again, because I wasn't going to let these social medias consume my life or deteriorate my mental health or my well-being, man. And so I'm not saying you guys may be depressed, but if you are, just know that sometimes just taking a break can be all you need. You're going to see that you're probably going to feel better. You're probably going to get way more shit done. And when I deactivated it, I felt closer to my friends. I felt closer to myself. I felt closer to God, bro. Instead of fucking ending it all and being with God, I just felt closer to God from exactly where I was on earth, bro. I didn't need any of that bullshit, man. I didn't need any of that bullshit. And when I got rid of it, it's crazy that I just felt human again. I just felt like a fucking person again, bro. And I'm so thankful that I've worked on myself enough to the point where I haven't hit that point again, and I don't plan on hitting that point ever again anytime in the near future. I only want to build and grow and get stronger and embody the essence of the fucking man I'm becoming, you know? But sometimes that's what it takes. If you've reached that point, sometimes that's what it takes, man. And I fully support whatever your decision is. I fully support going on Do Not Disturb. I fully support deleting the apps. I fully support deactivating your accounts for a brief time. I fully support a dopamine detox for a week, 2 weeks, just not even looking at your phone, reading a book, touching grass, going out, talking to people, being a part of society, of life. I fully support all that, man. And that's what we do here at the Frequency Podcast. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to be friends to one another and to let each other know, like, hey, we're all going through this. We've all felt this, but I'm by your side, brother. I'm by your side, brother. I'm by your side, sister. And with, like I always say, with love and positive energy, we are going to encourage each other to grow. We are going to encourage each other to spread that love and positivity. And we're going to encourage healthier, wealthier, active, abundant lifestyles and health and wellness and mental clarity and finances and focus and all the things that you envision in a healthy lifestyle, man. So that's why I fucking put on this podcast, bro. So I think that's everything in my notes, man. Like I said, social media is a tool. It depends on how you use it. There's motherfuckers that get on social media and they make $1 million as big social media influencers or big social media marketing agencies, account strategists, whatever. I don't think social media is bad. To reiterate my point again before I clock out, I don't think social media is bad. I think consuming too much of anything is bad, bro. So be aware. Be aware, my brothers and my sisters, and let's get better and let's grow. So, as always, I'm sending love and positive energy your way. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Frequency Podcast. You guys know that this means the absolute world to me to check in with you guys for a week and for you guys to check in with me throughout the week. And I love you guys so much, man. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.